perhaps they should refer to the charter and think about whether they should
Whether they have any responsibility under the charter.
Right, exactly.
Is your reading differ than ours? I mean, it's English.
Oh, you mean okay, so you're asking if the commissioners are compelled by the charter to intercede in the Chateaubriand mine?
Yeah.
I am.
Or listen, to at least come out and say, because it does look as though there was a circumvention of their
Right to due process.
right to due process, their Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment rights there.
What I'm seeing in the charter is it says that it shall not be enforced. The charter is commanding the district attorney and the commissioners not to enforce laws, and I didn't see them.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see them enforcing any law. I mean, I didn't see any violation there. Is what I'm saying, plainly.
Oh, in other words, this only applies. Yes, but
if they do nothing,
they would be citing themselves. Wait a minute, I was about to enforce that. Then I issued myself a citation, so I stopped. It's no. What I'm saying is that if it obviously is relating to people who are trying to make an enforcement of a law or something to that effect that is in violation of the intent of the charter, and then they would intercede. Perhaps I'm reading that wrong, but that seems like what it says.
What I'm hearing, rightly or wrongly, is basically you're asking whether doing nothing is permitted.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that it is actually.
Yeah.
I think that it actually is. Yeah. It says that they
What
do
is
not
the point
enforce.
of this then? What is the point of it? So I guess it has to be open to interpretation. Perhaps the commissioners don't believe that their rights are somehow being violated, but if the commissioners did believe that their rights were being violated,
The rights of the miners.
or anybody else, for that matter, who this was happening to, are they not compelled by this to do something about it? And you seem to say, no, they're
No,
not.
I don't think so. No. Yeah. I think so. I think they're prohibited from enforcing laws that may be interpreted, et cetera, but I don't see them being
Yeah,
compelled
but
to.
then what would be the clause in there about citation and it seems to say,
I mean,
to
yeah,
intercede. Let's look at some
this is
full-size type here.
easier, probably.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that they're prohibited from forcing on the people, using slightly different language, things that are unconstitutional, but
Yeah.
they're not encouraged
Or
to
required.
protect, not required to protect, or even encouraged to protect the rights of those people. They can just sit there and watch it happen in front of them. Well,
I don't know about that. I mean, they're not to enforce laws. The charter says they're not to enforce laws that meet certain criteria. It does say that.
Right.
So
Okay.
similarly, the U.S.
Okay,
Constitution.
but listen to this. The intent of this this is section 29.1 due process, and right at the beginning it says intent.
Yeah.
The intent of this charter amendments is to provide citizens of Josephine County with local protection of one of their inalienable
Protection.
rights. Yes, protection. What does that mean? Inaction? Protection is not.
That's how I read it,
yeah,
generally, yeah, that's right.
I see what you're doing there. That's very nice. I'm sorry, I can't do anything about that.
Well, they're not providing protection.
As originally defined
The charter
by our
provides
founding
protection.
fathers in the U.S.
That's what it's
Constitution
saying.
and the Bill of Rights. The following provisions
Intent
shall
of the charter
be
is to protect
adopted
the citizens.
into the Josephine County Home Rule Charter and shall govern all actions by individuals, organizations, both public and private, within Josephine County. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. And it seems, I mean, if you're reading this, that somehow, if this is just a statement and it doesn't mean anything, and no one is going to intercede on your behalf, I don't see the point of having it in here.
I don't see anywhere in maybe this will help. The Bill of Rights itself in the U.S. Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anywhere in there it compels the government to intercede or do, frankly, anything. It prohibits the government from doing things. I've got it here, and we can go through it, but
Yeah,
I
it
think
prohibits,
it's a-
but then if they do it, if they're in violation of it, there's nothing that compels anybody to do anything to stop it.
Yeah. The first words are Congress shall make no law. So it's demanding inaction,
Yes.
which I think is consistent with what we have here in our charter.
So demanding inaction
Yes. But, okay.
is the result of this.
Okay, now.
Then they could say, well, we're actually commanded to do nothing.
I don't know. Well, I can tell you
Okay.
this, that
That's the kind of show
First
it is.
Amendment, yeah, but the First Amendment, there are court cases that deal with this issue of compelled speech, that the government can't compel people to say things because it's protected by the First
All right,
Amendment.
now we have an Attorney General in the United States.
Yeah.
And the Attorney General has seen fit through the ages to get involved in the South, to get involved in various cases, to say, hey, you are violating people's rights, and this is prohibited under the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Now, why, in that case, does the Attorney General have the feel that he or she has the admonition to go do something about it when that doesn't apply here?
Because it's an arbitrary thing?
I don't
Yes.
know.
Because he's making it up?
But
On to the subject at hand.
Yes, on to the
okay,
subject
but
at
wait
hand.
just one second.
Okay.
Let me just ask you this then. Then what does local protection mean?
That's a bit broad. I mean,
Okay,
you're pointing at a provision
okay.
there that says that
The intent of
of
this
the charter is to-
charter amendments, I think that S is a little typo, is to provide the citizens of Josephine County with local protection of one of their inalienable rights as originally defined by our founding fathers in the U.S. Constitution Bill of Rights.
So where's the local
What-
protection
What
come
does
in?
that mean?
Again, I think it's demanding inaction.
But
Bill of Rights
Seems
demands
like it's saying
inaction.
it demands local protection.
Yeah, but
Okay, well, different-
How are you protected by
Reasonable minds can differ on that, but my reading of
Yes.
that is as I've described. I mean,
Okay, all right.
I don't have any more analysis to go on that. That's
I'll take your word for it. I just, I guess the interpretation can be subjective.
it's not intended to be, but unfortunately, our charter is more subjective than I think people hoped it would be, as we talked about last week. So
Is this a case of me reading that and wanting to see something in it that
Probably.
isn't necessarily there?
probably.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
You dreamer.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.